Hello again, folks. Welcome back to Going Live with the Global Science Show as part of today's Biodiversity Bonanza on the Global Science Show. We're here again for another 15 minutes to meet another scientist, science communicator, and find out who they are, what they do, and why they're awesome. So yeah, 15 minutes we'll be here and you'll have a chance to join in. If you want to ask us any questions in the comments, we can bring those onto the screen and get you involved in the conversation. Now, we don't have very long, so I'm going to get our guests straight into the room. Please say hello to Petra. Hello.
Hi, Sam. Hi, everyone.
How are you doing today?
Good. It's quite a busy day, but I'm just glad it's Friday.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that it's Friday, and I'm really looking forward to around 5 p.m. today so that I can switch off.
I can imagine.
Yeah. You're at the University of Bergen in Norway, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. I am here in Bergen. It's the rainiest city of Europe, but hey, we have beautiful mountains, so I guess it works.
The rainiest city in Europe. I didn't think that anywhere could be wetter than Glasgow in Scotland, but apparently so.
And yet here we are.
Yeah.
I guess we are at a tight competition. That's probably true.
Yeah, very close. So who are you and what do you do?
So my name is Petra. I'm from Slovakia. I am a nature enthusiast. I really like all things wildlife, and now I'm currently in the middle, or hopefully close towards the end of my PhD here in Norway. I study these intriguing animals that I would like to introduce you today. And apart from that, I enjoy sharing this very much interesting and enthusiastic journey of mine with all of my loved ones and with anyone I can talk to.
Oh, thoroughly delighted to have you here to share what you're about to share. So what animal is it that you're about to showcase today?
The animal is called Meara stichopi. Its surname, stichopi, comes from the other animal that I will also talk about, but let me get back to that later on. I want to show them to you. They are in this styrofoam box that is here with me. And Meara is an animal that belongs to this group of meiofauna. We call it that because it's not microscopic and it's not macroscopic either. So it's something in between. And here it goes. Here they are. My meiofauna animals. I shouldn't be so possessive.
I didn't realize we were going to get to see them in the flesh. That's amazing.
I brought them here just for you. So you see some white tiny dots.
Yes.
Like them. And the reason why I keep them in this styrofoam box is that they really like to stay cold. They're true Norwegians, these guys. They live in the muddy floor of the seas, and the adult animals are around 1 to 2 millimeters. They are very intriguing, and you may never heard about them before. If you have, please let me know in the chat, because I also like to know if we have some nemertodermatid fans. Now, this other word that I just said, nemertodermatids, is the name of the group that this animal belonged to. And they are very intriguing because they have only one body opening. They don't have the exit, so their guts are sort of like sacs. But yeah, I'm a developmental biologist, and I study how these guys develop. Apart from other things, I'm very interested in their reproductive cells, so the cells that they need to produce their progeny. And then once they do produce the progeny, I study how these cells divide, produce the embryos, and so on until we get nice adults again. These guys that I brought here today, they are in their teenage years, let's say. We call them juveniles. And Meara is a really wild spirit. We cannot tame it. It's not a lab animal. That's why it has its own package like this, and that's why I will later on show you where we go. Sorry, no, I won't show you the photo of where we go, but I will show you how it looks like when we look at it under the microscope.
Fab.
Sorry?
Oh no, I'm just saying it's fab. It's fantastic to get to see them.
Yeah. One other point that I forgot to mention at the beginning about how wild these guys are is that they live inside of a sea cucumber. So we can't find them inside of the mud, but how we collect them is we go to find the sea cucumbers, which look like, I guess you hopefully know how sea cucumbers look like. If you don't, you will see them in the video. So we collect the sea cucumbers, then we come to the lab, open them, and we find these worms in their foregut, which is where they happily strive, and we find them there throughout some months of a year, not all months, however. So this is another intriguing part about this animal, its life cycle that we are not really sure about, and there are only hypotheses about this. But yeah, what I do after we get these animals in the lab and I actually get to see them, which is not very often, is I study how they develop and when their reproductive cells start to be apparent. And I will perhaps begin with their artistic enlargement here. So this is an adult Mearastihopi, and you can see it fully with this gem in the middle. Why is there a gem? It's because I like to call reproductive cells gems because of how special they are. And these adults are hermaphrodites. So you see the male parts and the female parts. Yes.
So what fascinates you most about these animals? They look like incredible little things, but what fascinates you the most?
There are certainly many peculiarities about these animals. I guess I'm gonna go with their resilience because since they develop in the ocean bed, in the muddy floor of the sea, where they get eaten by the sea cucumber again, they had to evolve this really thick eggshell so that they could survive, I guess, in the intestinal fluids and so on.
So they live inside of a sea cucumber, but they're also eaten by a sea cucumber as well. Is that?
That's true because this happens at a different life stage.
Ah, I see. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So if they're somewhat parasitic on the cucumber, do they harm that host?
That's a great question, and that's actually something we would also like to know, and hasn't been fully described yet because these animals are really understudied. And if they piqued your interest, give it a go. However, we think that they are not parasitic because they usually stay on the outer side of the gut content, not sucked to the gut wall, because they don't really have any mouth instrument that they could harm the sea cucumber with. So our guess is that they just eat on bacteria.
Ah, okay. Well, that's good then. It seems to be like not a harmful relationship there. So you study them in Norway, and are they only found in the seas around like Norway or Scandinavia, or are they found further afield?
Meara in particular can only be found in the North Sea, as far as I'm aware. But the other species of this group, Nemertodermatids, can be found all over the world. There are some living in the coastal regions of North America, some close to Indonesia, Mediterranean Sea. So they are really understudied, and we have many cryptic species that haven't been described yet, since they are so tiny.
That was going to lead into my next question, actually, was if they're understudied, do we know what importance they play within the ecosystem that they exist in? Or is that something we're still trying to find out?
That's a great question, Sam. That is still something we are trying to find out. There is active research on this in Scandinavia, and they are not the only species that is meiofauna species. So I would say they definitely play an important role, but we are not sure what it is yet.
I imagine with a lot of species, though, that live on the surface of the sea or within an animal that lives on the surface, the bed of the sea, that there's so many species that we're still trying to find out about. So I can imagine that's a big job for people to try and like to find out about these species.
Yeah,
Did you had a video you wanted to share with us as well?
that's right. I would like to share it with you guys so that you can see the detail
Perfect.
of how
Okay.
they look like. And sorry,
No, it's
give me
okay.
a second. Can you see this tab here?
There we go. That's us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. So there will be a few things in the video that I will point out as we go. And these are the juveniles, so the teenagers of Meara stichopi. This is the sea cucumber, and this is how it looks like after I open it. So it sort of decompresses and gets very small. And the part that I'm most interested in the sea cucumber is its gut, which is where these guys hang out. You can see them here. And here we go. This is how they crawl. And now please watch this really big one labeled by the red arrow as it moves along. Meara has a gravitational sensory organ that's in this circle. You can see it as a tiny white dot.
Yeah.
It's not an eye. We call it the double statocyst. And here we go to the mouth. Right to the mouth, that was its position. And the other body opening is the male gonopore in the posterior and so in the back. But these guys, I hope you notice, they swim on their back with their belly on top. So like this.
Oh, doing backstroke. So, what if they've got this kind of gravitational sensory organ? What are they? How do they use that? If it's not an eye, what are they? What are they trying to sense?
They're sensing their position in their environment. So they move thanks to the cilia on their outer surface. That's how they crawl around. And they use the gravitational organ with the statocyst to sense where they are in the relative position to their substrate, I guess.
Okay. Well, we're getting towards the end of the 15 minutes, but thank you so much for coming to have a chat with us, and like so delighted to get to actually see them in the flesh there as well. It's not often you get to see something like that right in front of your eyes.
Thank you so much for having me, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm gonna use the power I have to shove you back into the green room. Thank you so much to Petra Kovacikova for coming to have a talk with us this afternoon. What a fantastic way for us to start the second half of the day for the Global Science Show. We're going to be back again in 45 minutes with another live stream. This time we won't have a guest, it will just be me, but there'll also be some non-human guests that are going to come in as I try and figure out how to live stream into some of my pet enclosures in the house. We've got more people posting as part of the Global Science Show right now, so please do go check out. It's Elizabeth Mills and Marine Mumbles that will just be posting just now, so please do go check out what Elizabeth is talking about today. In the meantime, see you in 45 minutes, folks. Take care.